It has now been a month since the new year began. You probably told yourself at the start of this year that this year is going to be different. Or if you're like me, maybe you even made a video about it to hold yourself accountable. I have set 20 to 30 goals and have been thinking about how I'm going to approach it. I have considered strategies, planned my actions, and set intentions for my personal growth. You might have done something similar. Perhaps you started practicing new habits for a while and things were going well. But then, like most people, you eventually slip back into bad or old habits, the ones you initially wanted to change. But why is it so hard to build new, good habits, but so easy to fall back into bad or old ones? Why do we struggle so much to maintain the changes we want in our lives? How can we build the habits that we desire? How can we truly become the successful, better version of ourselves? James Clear answers all of these questions in his best selling book, Atomic Habits, and which is also one of my personal favorites. So, today we are going to dive deep into all these reasons why it's difficult to stick to new habits and explore practical ways you can apply these habits to your life to create real lasting improvements. Hi, I'm Nancy, and if you're new here, welcome to this channel. This channel is all about productivity, mindset, language, self improvement, and basically everything that helps you grow into the best version of yourself. If you are new into these topics, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out any new content. So, first thing is how to build new habits and change your old behaviors. Let's get started with building new habits and changing old behaviors. There are four fundamental laws of habit formation that can help you become a best version of yourself. Let's talk about the first law, that is, making it obvious. If you want to build your desired habits, whether it's exercising, reading more, or increasing productivity, you must first become aware of your current habits. To do this, we are going to use a system called the Habit Scorecard. Now, what's the Habit Scorecard? You can assume it as a tool that helps you identify your current habits by listing all the things that you do on a daily basis, from the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep, and scoring them all. For example, if a habit is good, means it brings you closer to your goals, mark it as a plus sign. If it's neutral, mark it as equal sign. If it's bad, means that a habit that holds you back, mark it as a minus sign. This method helps you become more mindful of the habits that you already follow without thinking. So let's talk about some examples of habit scorecard. Let's say your morning routine looks like this. First is you snooze the alarm. Mark it as a negative. Second is waking up, that is neutral. Going to the bathroom, that is neutral. Brushing your teeth, neutral or positive. Making coffee, if you're trying to cut caffeine, this might be negative. Scrolling social media, negative. And this is how you can score your habits. And by scoring your habits, you bring awareness to what's helping you and what's holding you back. At this stage, we are not judging our habits, we are simply observing them. Self awareness is the first step to making a real change. Your goals shape your scorecard. The way you rate habits depends entirely on the personal goals. For example, eating less might be good for someone trying to lose weight, that is positive sign. Eating less might be bad for someone who is trying to gain weight, that is negative sign. This is why it's important to be clear about your goals before categorizing your habits. Second is connecting habits with time and location. The second way to make habit obvious is to attach to a specific time and place. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, says, stop setting goals. Goals are pure fantasy unless you have a specific plan to achieve them. One of the biggest reasons people fail at achieving their goals is the lack of clarity. To avoid this, you should create a specific plan for your new habits. So you can use this formula. I will habit at time in location. This is how you can apply. I will read for 15 minutes at 9 pm in my bed. And this is how you can apply this formula. By setting a specific time and location for your habit, you make it much easier to stick to. Third is habit stacking. The third way to make your habit obvious is habit stacking. It means combining a new habit with an existing habit you already do automatically. For example, if you want to meditate, you can attach to your morning coffee routine. Let's say, after making my coffee, I will meditate for 5 minutes. Since making coffee is already part of your routine, adding meditation right after it make it much easier to follow through. And the example is, let's say after brushing my teeth, I will read one page of my favorite book. After eating lunch, I will take a 10-minute walk. The key is to just connect new habits with the ones you already do every single day. Fourth is Optimizing your environment for success. The fourth way to make your habit obvious is environment design. You know, your environment plays a huge role in determining whether you succeed or fail at building habits. More than motivation or willpower, your surroundings influence your habits on a daily basis. James Clear emphasizes this by saying, motivation is overvalued. Environment matters more. If your environment supports your habits, you will naturally follow with them without forcing yourself to rely on motivation. On the other hand, if your environment makes your desired habits difficult, you're far less likely to stick to them. So let's break it down with some practical examples on how you can optimize your surroundings for success. Make good habits easy and accessible. To build good habits, you must reduce friction, meaning make the habit as easy as possible to do. Here are some simple ways to tweak your environment to help you to stay consistent. Want to read more? Place book in visible locations around your home, like next to your bed, on your coffee table, or near your workspace. If you always see the book, you will be more likely to pick it up. Want to drink more water? Keep the water bottles within your arm's reach, on your desk, in a living room, or next to your bed. The more accessible water is, the more you will drink it. Want to exercise more? Lay out your gym clothes the night before so they are ready for you when you wake up. You eliminate the mental barrier of deciding what to wear. Want to eat healthier? Keep fresh fruits and vegetables at eye level in the fridge so they are first thing you see. The easier it is to engage in a positive habit, the more likely you are to do it. Next is make bad habits harder to do. Just as you can design your environment to encourage good habits, you can also make bad habits harder to perform. Want to reduce screen time? Keep your phone in another room or place it inside a drawer so it's not within your immediate reach. Want to stop eating junk food? Store unhealthy snacks in hard to reach places or don't keep them in your house at all. Instead, place healthy snacks like nuts or fruits in easy to access spots. Want to stop binge watching TV? Unplug your TV after every use or remove streaming apps from your home screen. This extra effort required to set it up will make you think twice before mindlessly turning it on. By adding friction to your bad habit, you make them less tempting and easier to avoid. So use visual cues to reinforce good habits. You know, our brains are highly responsive to visual triggers. If we see something frequently, we are more likely to act on it. That's why visual cues are so important in shaping habits. Here's how you can use them. If you want to practice journaling daily, leave your notebook and pen on your pillow so you remember to write before your bed. If you want to play guitar more often, keep your guitar on a stand in the living room instead of in a case. If you want to floss regularly, place the floss next to your toothbrush so you remember to use it. By simply changing the placements of the objects, you can make your environment work for you instead against you. So stack your new habit onto your existing habit. Optimize your environment to support your habit. When you apply these 4 small steps, you dramatically increase your chances of success. So my final thoughts are, building good habits and breaking bad ones isn't about willpower. It's about creating a system that makes a success inevitable. So today we have covered the first law of habit formation, making it obvious. In future videos, we will cover out the remaining 3 laws. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments below and I will make a complete series on this. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next part of the series. This year, we are becoming the best version of ourselves and we are not giving up. Thank you for watching this video completely and I will see you in the next video. Bye.